Hello and welcome to this Robocraft 2 video. I think this is one of the more filthy builds you can play right now in Robocraft 2. Filthy as in... Filthy is kind of hard for me to pronounce actually. Like, that's one of those words I wish I could pronounce well that I can't because I'm not native English speaker and it's... I don't know, it just doesn't really roll off my tongue. Anyway, like this build is like overpowered. It's not overpowered like in there's no counters. There are counters, but... like, especially for new players, it's extremely hard to deal with arc, and this is extremely speedy arc. Like, this video will be two parts. I will like show a short gameplay compilation just to show how incredibly overpowered it is when playing against anything on wheels, pretty much. Like, there are a few exceptions when it comes to like some melee builds, but in general, anything on wheels, this one destroys instantly, right? So, and after that, I will go in and talk a little bit about how it's made. And the thing I think FreeJam needs to kind of address to kind of tune this build there are several things that I don't think is good that you can do that I use on this build. It's not exploits, it's just using stuff as intended, but in ways where the combination becomes a bit too powerful, really. But yeah, let's start with the gameplay compilation, and then I will kind of break this one down so you can see what's inside and how it's made, and I will explain a little bit about it. And then I will end with another robot as well that I think might be really good, that kind of uses some of these things, but not with art, but with plasma. Yeah, alright, let's get started with the gameplay compilation.
2, 1, commence.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
So let's take a look at how this is made. In the front there is a wheel. This wheel acts like a bumper. The wheel's got kind of a lot of collision resistance, so by having this one in the front, if I drive into things, and since this got arcs as a weapon where you kind of want to get close to enemy robots, you kind of end up crashing into things. And this one absorbs a lot of that collision damage. In itself, I don't think this is overpowered. I don't think this is something 3M need to take a look at, because a wheel costs kind of a lot, and it's a trade-off between armor and some resistance if you take collision from exactly the point you have the wheel. So I think this is okay. What is not okay, I think, is what I've done to... Like, I want to be clear, this is not exploits. This is just like using stuff as intended, but in ways where it kind of... It's not good. They should change it, right? They should change it so you cannot use stuff this way. But that is that the arc here, the arc explosives here, are mounted to the aiming hinge, and that gives them extra health because the aiming hinge has kind of a lot of connection strength override, which means you average out the connection of the arc that got a lot lower connection strength override, like 4.5, and you get the average between those two, right? So they get a lot more health than if they are sitting on a normal cube. And they use the same thing for the hovers here. They're also mounted on each other, and I think this is something that 3M needs to take a look at, because it's not good that you can do it this way. It shouldn't be better to mount function parts on other function parts, and the easy way to do this is letting the connection strength here, or the connection strength override, actually be an override, so whatever you put it on, it always have the same connection strength. I think that's a lot better solution, and leads to people would not be able to exploit it. And another thing here that makes... I think this is what kind of makes this really filthy in terms of combination, is the wheel here. So the way wheels work is that you have a central motor, or you have, like, it's not actually a motor, but it's power, like you have a central power that distributes between all the wheels you put. So if you put 4 wheels, you get the same power distributed between those wheels. If you have one, all that power goes to that single wheel, which means with a single wheel you get like all that torque, all that power to that wheel. The reason a single wheel is not normally viable is that you would tip over, but with hovers you don't tip because they balance it. So with one single wheel in combination with hovers, you get kind of the best of both worlds. You get like the much better acceleration and top speed of wheels, together with the possibility for camera steering and strafing and stuff like that with hovers. You just lift off the ground to strafe left and right, and if you want to go fast forward, you can go down, and you will go at a very high top speed, and that makes it easy to catch other wheeled bots with arc because they can't really outrun you. So that's why this combination is so devastating towards anything on wheels. I mean, flyers and other hovers can counter you. The problem is most players, when they begin, they play wheeled bots, and this is extremely devastating towards those types of builds, and it pretty much forces everyone to not be on the ground. And I don't think that is exactly good. So I think that's about it. I will end this video by showing that other robot I made that is not arc, just to kind of show why this combination can be extremely devastating on other type. Just not if you take arc out of the picture, it's still a problem that you can combine hovers and wheels in this kind of fashion. Before we end this video with that compilation, just short presentation of this robot. This is hover plasma robot. It also got the wheel down here. This wheel is different than the one on the ArcBot in that the ArcBot was like a fixed wheel, no logic, just could turn left and right like on a normal wheel-based robot, which meant you can go really fast forward, diagonally forward as well. This one is mounted on a servo, and then there's a bunch of logic controlling that servo. So you will pretty much always have the wheel facing like left, right, backwards, and always go with like the max forward speed in all those directions, which result in a robot that is extremely fast in all directions. Heavy robots with like heavy custom gun turrets will probably not even be able to kind of turn their turret in a speed you can kind of strafe around them. So yeah, I'll show this robot off now towards the end of the video as well. Full game, like the cutouts for the kills and death as well, I guess. I should also add that I will put both of these robots on the CRF for anyone who wants to try it. Yeah, that's about it. Cheers.